Ladies and gentlemen, the American Cheering Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show. Hope you're doing great. Remember, my main producer is out for a week, a little more than a week, at a wedding, but I got a nice backup. It may not be the same show, but it's as good as ever. All right, here we go. Trump's 100 days was marked yesterday by lots of revealing, lots of bragging, as they should, of all the accomplishments that have been accomplished in just 100 days. It's pretty wild how much got done, and when you equate that with the rest of his administration, which is 4 total years, it's amazing what might be. He celebrated it by going to Michigan, and there in Michigan, the National Guard praised him, and he gave a speech, and he did something that was really wild. He had Governor Whitmer come up to talk, who wasn't prepared for it, but spoke anyway. It was a pretty great moment for the president saying, "Come on up, Governor." And what do you think that does for him in Michigan? Right? All right, the big, beautiful bill. None of the Michigan Republicans went with him because he said, you have to get back here and work. And they're working on this one big, beautiful bill, which President Trump mentioned in his speech. Johnson says he thinks it can all be ready to go by Memorial Day. They got to line up all the votes in the House and the Senate. Of course, there'll be people like Thomas Massie. It doesn't matter what it is. He'll be against it, along with Rand Paul. Trump sat down with ABC to do an interview, and boy, he got into it with his interviewee. Somebody he said, well, I don't even know you, but I picked you because I didn't know you. But he was just the biggest ass as ever. That's what they do. The Wisconsin Supreme Court has suspended that Wisconsin judge who helped an illegal alien get away. That's not a surprise there. Amazon. There was a big hoopla where Caroline Leavitt at her big press conference went after Amazon, who were going to start showing what tariffs were costing the customer. Well, President Trump called Jeff Bezos, and it all got worked out. Apparently, that's not what they were going to do. But President Trump and Bezos are buddies again. FBI, United States Supreme Court heard oral argument on a 2017 FBI raid where they went to the wrong house. And the judges asked, is it too much to ask, immunity and all that, too much to ask that you ought to look at a street sign? UPS made a business decision not to hook up with Amazon. They decided we're not going to do the Amazon thing. So what Amazon do, they create their own fleet. UPS is now set to lay off 20,000 people and close 70 facilities. You talk about a bad business decision. Do you think the CEO who made that decision will get fired? Probably not. Lay's and Tostitos are the latest to say we're not going to mess around with the red dye anymore. I keep thinking to myself, why does it take Bobby Kennedy to have red dye removed from these foods? In world news, Bessent says they're close to a deal in India. I want to say something to you about these tariff deals. The reason why they're not announcing them and they're taking a little bit longer is this reason. Every country is going to want to know what the other country's deal was. So they got to get them right. So there's not an issue of like, well, you did this for them and not this for them. So there's got to be some uniformity, my guess, as well. Convicted Cardinal who wanted to participate in the conclave, it said, okay, I won't participate in the conclave anymore. And David Perdue, who was the United States Senator from Georgia for a short period of time, is going to be the next Chinese ambassador for the United States, approved by, drumroll, even 19 Democrat senators. In pop culture, this is wild history. I got to put it in pop culture. It's Gyorgy Dozsa. Was that Hungarian? Listen to this, man. Was a Hungarian revolutionary, like in 1490. You know what they did to this guy? They put him on a steel hot throne, put a hot, fired up crown on his head. Then they had his followers who were starving to death eat him. Then they drew in quarter. I mean, it's unbelievable what they did to the guy. They call it the most awful death of all time. Then this is going around social media. Who would win between one gorilla and 100 men? Easy answer. One gorilla. Are you kidding me? And did you know this about cardinals? You know the red cardinal, the bird? They are actually named after the Cardinals. from the Catholic Church. And I didn't realize this. It is the state bird, not just for Kentucky, Indiana, West Virginia. There's 7 states that the cardinal is. Pretty cool. Sports without boundaries. NBA playoffs last night, NHL playoffs last night. Jeff Sperbeck, who is Elway's agent and business partner, fell off the back of a golf cart and died. And Stan Love, I didn't know this guy. Stan Love played for the LA Lakers, is Mike Love's brother. And he passed away as a Laker. And he's Kevin Love, the NBA player's father. Shakespeare, insult of the day, do not be a beslubbering hacksaw twit. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Check out my local news too.